Welcome everyone, Bear Essentials with Bear Buyers. And this video, even though it's live right now, is for you returning players. Been and out maybe 6 months, year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. There's a lot of changes that's happened. So let's take a look at the inventory real quick. So one thing that has been an ongoing item for a long time is the expertise level. Now, if you haven't maintained your library, one of the first things you want to do is you want to grind and be able to get all the new talents. A lot of the talents that used to be only on, say, one weapon are now available on different weapons. And some are brand new to all the weapons, such as Thunderstruck and Flatline and Sledgehammer, Pressure Point, Precise Strike. And for those that have played Division One, coming up at the end of the month, in the end of May, you're going to see some talents that look awful like or just like some of the items in Division One. So one of the first things you should grind is getting your um, library up to stuff. Make sure you got maxed out abilities. So when you want to upgrade your weapons and get them totally maxed out, you can, because that's something that's really good. The other thing is that you might want to readdress is the manhunts. So say you haven't did the legacy manhunts. Well, some of you might say, what is a legacy manhunt? Well, starting with Juniper, back in the day, we used to have to, through the season, we would have to go kill the four assistant people, and then we would unlock the main event, and you can replay these. Juniper, you go to Roosevelt Island. Hornet is Tidal Basin. Brandon Schaefer's Coney Island. Fei Lao is White Oak. Captain Lewis is Jefferson Trade Center, which you can see on this character I have not done. General Anderson is the power plant. Stovepipe is Coney Island Ballpark. Mar Singh is Manning National Zoo. The recruiter is White Oak. Agent Kelso is Stranded Tanker. And Aaron Keener, yes, Aaron Keener is still alive, believe it or not. And so is Theo Parnell. Now, how you do those is you go to the designated area, and that shows here on the manhunt. So again, you go to your um, left menu or map menu, and you go over to manhunts, and then you go over here to legacy manhunts. Well, talking about what's new is the current manhunt. If you want to complete it, you have to go through the scouting events each day, and they're scrambled, and you have to do them in order. So Scout 1, Activity 1, you have to do first. And if you ever want to go over that, I will go over those in detail. And we are currently about ready. Next Tuesday, we will start Scout 11, which is the last one, 3 days, 14 hours away. And then we will be able to hunt down Agent Kelso? Question mark. So that is part of that. So we got the scouting events, the legacy manhunts that you can replay. And I really recommend, if you'll follow the storyline, you want to do these in order. Now, I have done them in order, but because I have 4 active characters, I've done some of these just once on the other characters where I should have all done them on my main number 1 character, and that way it looks better. Like I just completed this. And so let's talk about this. So the one of the recent ones is going here to the Space Administration to do the Theo Parnell mission, which we just did yesterday. So you can look that on my live video from yesterday, the 10 hour long stream that I did yesterday. And you may go, well, how can I do this? Well, when you click on missions, there's a toggle at the bottom that says toggle mission mode. So press and hold Y. There's the Theo Parnell. And you can see you get a collectible, you get the Shades of Red hero patch, 377,000 experience, and you get to unlock the mission difficulty master. On master, I didn't want to hit yes. On master, we'll go back to the house and I can show you this. There, when you complete master, Theo Parnell challenge on master, after you do the storyline one, you can replay it on master. And when you do that, then you will be able to get this to drop. Now, they claim that the first time through, it's almost 100%, or it is 100%. We'll see. To be honest, I haven't done it myself yet. So it is under here under your named backpacks. It is a it's called the Provocateur, and it's right there. And you get this in the Theo Parnell. Now, will Agent Kelso drop a second exotic as well? I believe so. We'll have to see. So another big item that has changed most recently is you have this on your weapons, or when you're making your build. We have this option right here. Now, you can't do this in the Hollywood global events at the same time. Any global event like Magic Bullet, you have to do one or the other. One has to be active, will make the other inactive. And what is this? What it is, well, you got to make it active first. So let's make it active just so I can show you. So, come on, stupid game. So when you go in here, there are modifiers that you can run. Overdrive right now for this season is like almost having like the golden bullet all the time. You're faster, shoot faster, your skills are 30% more, your fire rate's 30% more. You know, it's pretty awesome. And there's tasks you get as you climb the ladder and unlock the rest of the active modifiers. You got tactical supremacy and you got vendetta. Those are your main ones. And then you have these secondary or active modifiers. And when you click on these, you have all these. Now, you don't get these from the start. You have to unlock them by doing your journey event. So your journey starts up here at the very beginning, and you get different rewards for getting these completed, deconstructing items, which we all do. Run the American History Museum, complete propaganda broadcast. Anyway, once you get, I think it's 6 of them, then it will unlock the next stage. And then you get 6 of these at second, you get the third stage unlocked, and then the fourth stage unlocked, etc., 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 until you're clear down here at the end. Now, there's some great rewards at the end because completing 6 of 8 on level 7, you get a reward of this snake apparel mask, and you get these other mods. You get the last of the mods to unlock, and you get 4 exotic caches. At level 6, you get 2 exotic caches, etc. 2 at 5, 1 at 4, 5 exotic components at level 3. So see, it really behooves you to grind through this, and exotic caches and exotic pieces are really the key to the game these days. So we go on to the next thing that a lot of new players might not know where they're standing. And one of them is your proficiency level. The max proficiency level at this time is 28. So you can see over there, I have 418 items and I'm proficient in all 418. What you do and how I recommend that you get this up is all the name gear only takes X amount, and you can go to your vendors, and if you have enough money, you can just buy enough to level them up. Buy a few, go donate them to your proficiency. Like here in your clan vendor, you got the new reliable, and there's a lot of content creators that do buy this here. I highly recommend that if you do not have your item proficient, as you can see, it says expertise proficient. I'm proficient in it. So, which I'm proficient in everything. If I can do it, you can do it. It's not a, oh, look what I done. It's a, if I can do it, you guys can do it too. Okay. It's not nuclear science. It's not rocket science. It just, you got to know to be able to do it. And what happens is once you get proficient in an item, then you can start getting the expertise up. So once you get proficient or level 10 proficient with item, then it becomes where you can make it expertise. So let's go back to looking at the Eagle Bear. I have 2 Eagle Bears. And you can see one is only level 9. And you can see I'm maxed out on my rewards. And it takes, trying to remember what that symbol is. And then weapon components is maxed out. And then shade things is almost maxed out or is maxed out. So we'll go ahead and upgrade that because it's not using up any exotic points yet. And we'll upgrade it again. And we'll kind of look at that. So it says right now the damage of the Eagle Bear that's level 11 is 111.78k damage. So let's level it up one more time. And you can see it went up another 1,000 damage per bullet. So again, you can see that now if I go 13, it's going to use exotic components, and I don't want to do that because at this point I already got an Eagle Bear that's maxed out as high as it can go right now, because you can only go as high as your expertise level is. That little circle over there that has the yellow ring around it, 30 of 90 it says. So that means 30 levels. So each level you go up on your weapon, you're going to gain a 1 on there. So when you get 0 to proficient with a weapon, it's going to give you 10 levels of proficiency. And once you get 90 levels, then you go up an expertise level overall. So you get 10 items up to proficient, from 0 to proficient. You would be at level 90 or expertise 1. And you keep doing that. And the current level with 418 items being able to be proficient, that's 10 levels apiece. You can see that's 4,180 levels. Divide that by 90. You're going to find out that comes to 28 levels with 60 remainder. So when there's new items that come out at the end of the month, if we get 3 or more items and we become proficient in that, we'll be able to go up into 29. Probably if there's enough new items between the season and the new download, we may be able to even get up to level 30. Now, as you can see, at level 28 on my Eagle Bear, to get it up to level 29, it's going to take 9 exotic components to go 1 level. Now, what is the advantage? It's it shows that it's given me 28% weapon damage. That's 1% for each level. And an Eagle Bear with 28% weapon damage is 119.83K versus 112. That's per bullet. So if you have this Eagle Bear against this Eagle Bear, you can see that it's doing 7,000 more damage per shot landed than this one. And that's not including all the proficiencies of your build and the modifiers and the modified damage. You can see how the 7,000 difference between these two weapons can make a big difference real quick. Now we can go over all the items and exotics, new weapons. But lately, one of the things that massive Ubisoft has been doing here in Division 2 is they've been giving grants. So this kind of benefits the player of playing all the time because you never know when a grant's going to come. So right before April 1st, we had a grant of an item called Turmoil. It is a really neat knee pads, and there's no other way to get them except being on during that time and being granted one. And it will show up here on your mailbox under grants. The Lexington was given to us during a short period of time, and then they've done somehow I was able to get a few other ones. I don't know if that was granted on each account, maybe, but I have a few Lexingtons. It's not something you want to trash or donate when you get something in the grant like that, because you don't get it dropped in the open world, at least not yet. Maybe at the end of the month, maybe in the new season. But be very careful with those. For one, let's look at the Turmoil real quick. But again, you returning players that just returned, I'm not trying to rub anything in your face, but you probably missed out on this unless the time comes when there's a way to purchase it, there's a way to get it. If they reissue it, stuff like that, or they may never do that because maybe they're trying to encourage people to always play the game and not wash it by, not take a break from the game. So I think they're rewarding people. Anyway, it said that 50% of the damage you do when you shoot an enemy, 50% of the damage you're doing to that enemy goes to another enemy that's within 30 meters of that enemy. So anybody, you're shooting a chunga and there's a red or a purple that's 15 meters, 5 meters away, you're going to do 50% amplified weapon damage, not skill damage. Amplified weapon damage is going to go to that red. So you can be shooting the chunga, the big guy in the screen, and you can watch the other guys die, even though you're not shooting them at all. You'll watch them die because of Turmoil. It is devastatingly good build. And the Lexington is basically an Eagle Bear without the Eagle Bear drawback. Now, for those, because only about 1% of the people have ever completed the raid, let alone got an Eagle Bear from the raid, and you can now get the Eagle Bear in the PvP. So you can get it in the Dark Zone. I won't say that you can't get it in the conflict, but I've not seen it dropped in a conflict. But you can get it in the Dark Zone now. As you can get the other raid content, the Ravenous. I'm not sure about the pistol, but I have seen Ravenous drops. I've seen an Eagle drop, and I've seen somebody the other day that got both of them within just a few minutes of each other in the Dark Zone. Now, if they got them distracted, that's a totally different scenario. So that is one of the advantages. The Eagle Bear is not locked behind the raid anymore, but that doesn't mean you're going to have to go out and play PvP and then extract it and not get it stolen from you. You got to be very careful. But this is able to get in the real world these days without doing the raid. Even though I do recommend that you get a good build and you go do the raid, get in with a good raid group, good clan that runs your raid, and it's just a fun aspect. And it's an aspect that once you get your Eagle Bear or your Ravenous from the second raid, you can go help the next guy get his because you can share and drop items if you didn't know. If you need to know how to do that, I got a video on how to share items. Uh, they have to be in the party when you acquire it. You only have a limited time that you can trade it to them. Um, you can't give it to somebody that wasn't in it. Say you get halfway through the raid and the Eagle Bear drops. You can't call a friend and say, "Hey, I got an Eagle Bear. Jump in here and join my group, and I can give it to you." Nope. They had to be with you when you got it. And then you can only share it for about an hour, a little less than an hour. You got it to say, yeah, here you go, and it'll have this arrow on there, and at the very bottom of your down here where it says source looted, it will say the names of the people that you can share that with for whatever reason. Maybe the computer doesn't recognize that they weren't in there. Maybe you open it in a case that was just for you, even though you got that case when they were with you. That's just for you. You can't share it. It'll have an arrow and it'll have their name at the bottom if you can share it with that person. And then you just drop it. Drop it in front of them. Say, hey, here's your item. Good luck. Have fun. And if any of you are returning players and you need some of your name gear, I got all mine. If you're on Xbox, look me up. I will run with you and I will drop all kinds of stuff for you. Okay. And that way you can get proficient. I'm willing to help the next person along. So we went over Manhunt. We went over the legacy manhunts, how to repeat those if you missed those. We went over some of the new gear that you might be missing out on. There's brand sets that you should explore here, such as the shiny monkey gear. That's season 6 item. You have stuff like virtuoso, the breaking point. These up here are fairly new. They're kind of like in order. So this is probably 4 or 5 years old. This 4 years old. This 3 years old. This 2 years old. And this is probably within the last year. These two. Don't hold me to the fire on actually when they came in, but the originals are down here. The raid stuff came in with the tip spear, the negotiators and aces, and those have changed. If you haven't played since the first year, aces and eights. I had a guy kind of embarrass himself a few years ago, and he was like, "You were bragging about how you're such a good sniper, but you never once gave me a bonus." Aces and eights, just like some of the sets, you got to read it over. So when you're jumping back into the game, some of these have really changed. Like aces and eights do not give the group any bonuses anymore. It doesn't make the whole group super human anymore. You also have some great exotics that have changed the game, especially if you played Division 1. Ninja Bike Messenger's backpack basically turns your brand sets and gear sets into not having one to be proficient. So like when you're doing your hard when you're doing any of the green gear. It takes 4 to get the full benefit of your feedback loop here for hardwired. Well, when you have Ninja back, you only need 3. So basically, the Ninja backpack is your fourth hardwired, and then when say you run an Eclipse with that, you would need 2 Eclipse to get that benefit. Well, you don't really need 2 Eclipse because you got Ninja backpack. It's going to work like it's an Eclipse as well. And then in your last 6-piece, say you run Hot Shot, and you will get the 2-piece bonus for Marksman Rifle because you got a Hot Shot and you got the Ninja Bike Messenger backpack, and it counts as 1. So that works as a 2. So you can see how that can add up. So you could have 1 Eclipse, 1 Hot Shot, 3 hardwired, and a Ninja Bike Messenger's backpack, and uh, you're getting benefits from each one of those brand sets. So accordingly, and do I recommend that build? No, it's just an example. Map wise, we have a few new features, and if you've been gone for over 4 or 5 years, we have Countdown, and Countdown is um, kind of like a raid, but it's like a mini raid. It's an 8-man event. It's timed. You got missions during it. It changes, but it is one of the best ways to get gear in the game if you need those new sets. Countdown, find 7 other people to run Countdown with. It is awesome. If you don't have the right gear to run, you can run Descent. And it is basically you start with the gear they give you, and you have to work your way up to the monster, and it is different. Then we have over here, which is more recent, we have Paradise Lost. It is an incursion event, and it is new enough that I haven't even done it. Uh, just haven't got to it. You have your Iron Horse raid, and you have your Dark Hours raid. Dark Hours raid came out in the first 6 months of the game. Operation Iron Horse was did it come out with the New York expansion? It was like year 2 or 3. And then, of course, year 3 or 4, you had Summit. And you get rewards to complete your task while you're going up to the 100th floor. The 100th floor is full of hunters, and you have to fight multiple hunters depending on how many hit you have in your item. You have legendary and master level events now. So before, if you guys have been gone for 4 or 5 years, you'll find out that they have heroic used to be the highest you have. Well, now you have a level on top of that, and that is legendary. So most of your events, again, legendary and master. Master is new this last event. It's kind of an area in between, and there's rewards for doing legendaries. You can get a white tusk uniform, which is pretty cool, and you get the best loot. You can get an exotic called the Bighorn to drop from your legendaries, and you can also do legendary and summit, so you can grind through there. And the Bighorn will and can drop from legendary assignments in the summit off the boss floors. Is the best way to do that. And there's ways to farm that, kill the boss, and sorry, we got interrupted by the poison guys. Oh, I got shot by an arrow. Oh, no, you didn't. When we go to another event that we can work on is, so now we have 3 seasons, or 3 missions per season. We are currently in season 6, the third season of season 6, or the third. We're in the 6th year, third season, and there's 3 seasons in each year. So as of May 27th, we will be in season 7. You have a season pass. It's 1 through 100, like it's always been, and you can buy a season bundle that gets you the extra items as you progress. And you also have, we explain the journey for the manhunt missions. You have primary objectives. This is new. So you can do this once a day. You can re-roll it. You got one that's basically PvP. You got one that's and you can re-roll these once per time. You can decrypt them, and then you can go ahead and repeat and do these. So it'll say if it's the long duration or short duration. So let's show this one here in DC. So let's decrypt it. And it says complete an activity in Southwest DC for 119,427 experience. And that's cool. Now, our timeline event up here, it also shows us our season. So we're in year 6, season 3. And we can see that we only have just a few more weeks left in the event, or in the season 3. Again, May 27th is season 7. So right now we have Hollywood. Now, the advantages of doing Hollywood, you have events, and we're going to go ahead and activate this. Again, you can't do your mods and the global events at the same time. You have to have one active or the other active. And it will reset.
Are you going to be busy all day?
Yes, there's something you need to do.
Just 1 minute. Thank you.
Okay, so currently these get released once it comes out. Like Tuesday, you can do day 1. Wednesday, you can do day 1 and day 2. Thursday, day 3, day 4, and today being Friday, we can get all 4 days, and day 4 just got released. So as you progress, you have these stars that you get from doing the task, and you get a star for each level you gain during the event. Add those all up, you can cash those in, and you have a whole reward system here. And level 8 and 9 again are those elusive exotic caches that are so valuable to cash in and obtain. Once you obtain them, then you can go to the main house, either in New York or at the White House. And there is a place you can check in, and you can exchange those for name caches and other events. I highly recommend name caches, and or once you get your proficiency up. Name caches to get your proficiency up. Once you get your proficiency up, I really recommend that you concentrate solely on exotic caches. Every 20 stars you get, buy another one of these caches, make sure you use them up before the event closes, because whatever you have in there, you lose. So we have 3 days, 14 hours to gain as many 20 points as possible. And if we go back and show you the event, we will see that you here in the event, today's stars is 13 possible bonus. We still have 4 to do from the first day. We can get from the first day and 2 from the second. So that's 4, 6, 19 stars. That's almost an exotic cache right there. And of course, when we do that, we're going to be gaining levels. So each level that we gain is going to give us a star. And so we will be able to probably get 2, maybe 3 pulls today, depending on if we go up, say, 22 levels on our watch score. So let's go what's going to happen on the new season. One of the biggest things on the new season that we found out that is they are discontinuing the ability to get rewards for muling. Now, the definition of muling. So you can have up to 4 characters on your Division 2 account. Each account can have 4 characters. This is great. A lot of people use their second, third, fourth character to store that extra gear that they just have accumulated. There's so many gear sets and gear brands that each character holds 150. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 accounts. Now you can have one of those accounts can be a hardcore character. And what hardcore is, if you've been gone more than 5 years, you can create one of these to be a hardcore character. And your hardcore character, when he dies, like dead, laying on the ground, waiting to be revived by somebody else, dead, you're done. You have to delete the character and you got to start over from scratch. Some people like that. It's like heroic for your whole character. The other thing is, whatever you get on that character, you can't share with the other characters. Like you can't put it in a stash. If you get an Eagle Bear on your hardcore character, you can't put it in a stash and give it to your main character. Where when you have 4 regular characters, you can do exactly that. It's interchangeable. What you get on one account, you can give to the other account. You can use the same build and keep putting it in a stash, go to the second account, pull it back out of the stash and run the same build, same exact build, same exact items. So that's it. And I had a good question yesterday on how do you know you played 6,000 hours? Well, by explaining to somebody, I found out that I haven't played just 6,000 hours. I will soon be passing in a few days. I will be passing the 10,000 hours played mark. I would consider anybody 10,000 hours over a veteran of a game, correct? And how do you know how much you've played? Well, right there, over there, kind of in the upper right hand of the picture, you'll see it says season 6 or year 6, season 3. It says ends in 5 days, 3 days, anyway, that has the season score, which is 100 maxed out, has a symbol, and underneath there it has time played 131 days, 19 hours, and 11 minutes on this character alone. Second character, I've only played it 52 days, 22 hours, and 24 minutes. Third character, 50 hours, 50 days, 19 hours, and 59 minutes. Third character, now this is the one I used to mule. I muled it a few times. That's it. back when my watch score was like 4,000. And what you do is you would have to delete this character. You would have to make a new character, fast track it to level 30. Then you would have to go through New York and grind through New York. And once you grind through New York, then you would get your watch score, and your watch score on this character would match the watch score on your main. It's because the watch score is the same on every account. Now, if you look inside that where it says 100, you'll see the watch score in little letters. So 9,598 94 is the same on each one of these. See? And what that does is that upon completion with your new character that you made, in place of your old character, your watch score would now become 9,594. Well, it's still going to work that way in May, but here's the caveat. Here in your inventory, when you go up a level, you gain a shade item here. This right here, the scavenger. After 1,000, because the first 1,000 levels, you're putting one here, one here, one here, one here. Then level 5, you get a scavenger. Or you get a scavenger. No, and then 5 level, 6 level, 7 level, 8th level, until you get 200 levels on each one, which is 1,000 levels, right? And I think there's a scavenger in the 5th. Anyway, it takes 1,000 levels to get this maxed out, where each category is 50 of 50. So after that, every time you go up a level, you get a scavenger token. Well, what scavenger token's good for? So if you press it, you can see that you can put those 4 scavenger tokens in, or 1 apiece, and for any resource that you need. So we're going to give ourselves 4. So the good thing about having 4 characters, when I go up a level on this watch score, it goes on the watch score of every character. So that character went up. So when you deleted your 4th character, or you made a 2nd character or whatever, and you got it through New York, it matched your watch score. So now you have 9,594 of these to use as resources on your Shade Watch. So you could basically max out your resources. And why do you need so much resources? Because crafting is expensive. Look at this. To craft a Savage, you're using 36 steel, you're using 26 fiber, you're using 60 components. Well, when you got it maxed out, that seems pretty cheap because it's real easy. You just mule another character. March 27th, or March 26th is your last day to do that. On March 26th, you should make sure that all your characters with Shade Score has no extra resource in it. Cash it in, use it up, because what they're going to do is they're going to reset everybody's watch score. Meaning not to 0, you're still going to have your watch score, but they're going to max out the credits. So like my character is going to here on this watch score, I'm going to get that 9,594. So one of the incentives between now and the end of the month is get that watch score as high as possible. Use up all these scavenger tokens so that it says 00 like it does now. Because on May 27th, when you log in, that scavenger for me is going to be 9,594. Well, actually, it's not. It's going to be much bigger than that, because I'm going to get that shade level high as possible to get even more scavenger tokens to use. And I'm going to have a lot of scavenger tokens. So I'm going to be able to use a lot of resources, and I'm not going to run out of resources overnight. and I should be able to max out and get a good head start on season 7, as most of us that have a decent watch score and most people playing. Look at this guy on the screen right there, 13,754. I seen one on Facebook today that was 30,000. I seen another one in real life that said 50,000. That's the biggest I've ever seen. 50,000 watch score. Now you're saying, well, they must have cheated. Maybe in the first month that they came out with the Warlords in New York. If you had that kind of watch score, yeah, you cheated. But here's what's been happening lately with these events. And I was going over the Hollywood event. So they've been running earlier. Say, let's go back just this season here. We're going to go back to Golden Bullet. Now, Golden Bullet's great, makes everything go faster. You shoot faster, you shoot harder. Well, guess what was happening at the same time Golden Bullet was doing? They had a season event going on that was giving you 5 times your experience. So if you would gain a 700,000, you were actually, which is exactly 1 level, you were actually gaining 5 levels. So you would complete a daily task. Instead of being 1 level, you're going up, you're going 5 levels up. And unlike it was a few years ago when they ran those ×3 events or ×2 events, or, it wasn't ×5 or ×10 like it's been lately. They were capped at, say, 20 levels or 15 levels, or, a small amount. No, this was capped at 1,000 levels. I worked all week and I gained 964 levels in this 1 week, and didn't max this out. So I was gaining ×5 the whole week, and I was running crazy. I was running crazy days of grinding. And next week, in 2 days and 14 hours, we have a ×3 event coming up. And again, you can see it's going to be good for 1,000 levels. So next week, the goal is to gain 1,000 levels. And again, 1,000 levels on a 9,598 watch. I should be over 10,000 easily by the time that the new season rolls around. There's a lot of other items going on. We have Descent, which I talked about. The main events here. They've kind of neglected being in New York. We haven't had dailies in New York for a while. New York's been kind of quiet. I suspect New York's going to be very big come after May 27th. I believe we'll be doing a lot with the Rikers Cleaners, Brooklyn, if you have the DLC. And it is $14.99. It's to me, this game I loved. Again, I've played almost 10,000 hours. At $15, an extra $15, if I play another 5,000 hours, that is a half a cent an hour it costs me to play this game. And I would gladly donate that money to get an improvement in the game and to continue the service that goes on with this game. Because not only is it a great game, yeah, it's a grind to do a lot of things, but it's the community. It's the people that you play with. A lot of people play this game in a loner style, and because and there is drama, especially in PvP, and yes, there is toxic players out there, yes, but there's mute buttons. And there's when you're running a thing, you can kick them. You know, if you're running with you and two of your buddies and you get a random in there and he's just toxic as hell, you can just say, "Hey, let's get this guy out of here." Kick, vote to get him out of your party. Out he goes. Now, if he's team captain, there's another way to handle that. You leave his party and you just go make your own. So again, between mute buttons and being able to kick people out of your group that aren't playing what you need them to play, and they're not communicating with you, and they're just not a good fit. There's also matchmaking in a lot of these events. So a lot of specialty events, you can go up here to the helicopter and you can see everything from extras at Manning Zoo, the raids, Kenley College, which pops up from time to time. New York City, you can head from here. The descent, all this stuff you can access from here, as well as you can access from the map. And you got the PvP areas. So that is a very short overall, without going into the details of every item that's changed since the new people have came back to the game. That is kind of the changes in the game. It's what's happened, what hasn't happened. If you do countdown, you have your countdown items out here. Used to be able to do all this stuff at the White House, the crafting and everything, but everything is out here. Maybe it was always out here and we just didn't see it. You can view bounties here as well on your map. You can your projects here, so you can see your daily projects. If you buy the season pass, you get this extra project. And I recommend, this is what I do every day. I run my dailies, I run my weeklies, I run my summit. Now that I'm back into the game on a more regular basis, I can get the old teams and we can run through legendary, once a week. And yeah, this is your game. If you like Descent, there's a whole category here on Descent. I just don't do well on Descent, to be honest. I haven't taken enough time to try to play that. And again, I have not done the new Incursion. So there's a lot to be had. Thanks for watching. I will be back to do my dailies here in the next video in about a half hour. Thank you and have a nice day.
Great. Perfect timing.